the Supreme Court is diving into the debate over power of judicial review. North Carolina state lawmakers want sole power when it comes to federal election laws, redistricting maps, a process known as gerrymandering. In what some call the most important case for American democracy, the state's Republican-controlled legislature wants to remove the process of checks and balances based on an interpretation of the Constitution. Brody Carter has the story. Brody?
Jenna, in 2020, an updated census gave North Carolina an additional seat in the U.S. House of Representatives. This also allowed the Republican-controlled legislature a chance to redraw its election map. Well, multiple lawsuits were filed and found that new map was gerrymandered to benefit the Republican Party. That's now ultimately led to a review from the nation's highest court. This is the map that North Carolina's Supreme Court says is unconstitutional and unfair. That decision led to the case of North Carolina House Speaker Timothy Moore versus Becky Harper, a Common Cause member against partisan gerrymandering.
What it basically says is that state legislators, and only state legislators, have the absolute power to set election-related laws and draw congressional maps.
Mike Sozan with the Center for American Progress sees Moore's argument to gain this power in the state legislature comes from his interpretation of the Constitution. It's under the election clause founded in a theory called independent state legislature theory.
On the one hand, does legislature mean just the legislators on their own who get to act? Or does it also mean more broadly, the whole lawmaking process that the legislators have to be part of, that include the governor's signature or veto and a court review and a constitutional guardrail?
Wednesday's argument in court brought concern from Justice Elena Kagan.
This is a theory with big consequences. I think what might strike a person is that this is a proposal that gets rid of the normal checks and balances.
Other concerns voiced from Justice Kagan included widespread gerrymandering, restrictions on voting, and removing several voter protections.
I think, in fact, the North Carolina state legislature is correct here, that a state Supreme Court can simply jump in and override their authority.
Hans von Spakovsky with Heritage Foundation sides with Moore and believes the Constitution does give election power solely to state legislatures.
Progressive liberal groups are, and folks like the New York Times, are engaging in hysterical claims saying if the Supreme Court rules in favor of the state legislature, it's the end of democracy. That's an absurd claim.
Sozan worries a Moore victory would create a myriad of problems for future elections, even potential violence.
State legislators are going to be turbocharged to pass whatever election laws they want to. We're going to see a lot more of election chaos when there's this is going to have fallout for many years as people try to interpret exactly which rules stand, which ones would fall by the wayside. Well, the case was submitted after playing out more than 3 hours. A formal ruling will likely be announced next summer.